I got nothing to say, yeah, I'm just loving the way you're looking over here. Come over here and tell me your name. I could tell by the sound, yeah, when you open your mouth. I hear my new favorite melody, hey. We should both run away. Why did we ever stay in the first place? I can't shake the feeling when you face away from me, babe. I will wait a lifetime if you say you stay with me, babe. I can't shake the feeling when you face away from me, babe. I will wait a lifetime if you say you stay with me, babe.
As we go a little something like this, hit it!
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
To the honestly not even worried full audio-visual experience. Good to have you guys back. Welcome. Shout out to our patrons. We got Charlie Playa, Kirk, Ross, Amanda Rush, Stephanie Tormanen, Katie Ugal, Alec Karras, Noelle Delator or Delatori, I don't know, Mike Lizerin, Jenny Pastore, and Marissa Christie. Thank you guys and everybody who's listening, and thank you old listeners and new for joining us in our anti-cult. We have no leaders. We have no organization. We're completely decentralized. We rely on each other only. And I am your leader in this leaderless organization, Nilo G, and I'm here with Blake Boots.
Oh.
We are strong. The anti-cult is strong, y'all. It's growing every day, you know?
Let's get it.
Really
and
is.
Eventually I think I wanna start opening up some motels in some of the key locations.
Are you purely doing that so you can get nice little motel keys?
We get yeah, well, they're going to be whole, we're going to do the motel, and that's how we're going to organize and also make money, return on investment, because we're going to stay in the motel but also run the motels. And there's going to be one in Nashville, one in Chicago, one in Los Angeles if it still exists next year, you know.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to have that.
I like a souped up motel.
Yeah,
and nice
for sure. And like it's gonna be like a haunted. It's gonna be a vibe, like a spooky haunted Japanese like beach resort.
Japanese beach resort?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. Like my sleep paralysis demon is gonna be the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also the housekeeping sort of knocks on the door like at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And
at 2 a.m.
even if you don't answer, you could just feel his presence. You know.
Yeah. I think people like a year-round spook as well.
Exactly. It's a spooky vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, you know, who knows? It depends on if you believe in ghosts or, you know, just localizations of energy related to people. But
it should be the goal, though, that if you don't believe in ghosts, that, like, you believe in them after you stay there.
Right. If you don't believe in ghosts, welcome to the anti-cult, where we don't believe in anything. But after this, you're going to believe in ghosts.
Yeah, we're going to infect you.
Because, you know, ghosts are a construct.
In a way, yeah.
Cults are a construct. It's all just, it's, you know. But I'm not here to talk about cults.
No.
You know what I'm here to talk about?
What's that?
Spooky season is upon us, and I want to start off with ghosts.
Okay.
I want to talk about that post-life possibility, you know?
Spirits.
But I want to get to ghosts by starting off with a true crime story.
Yes.
Maybe one that people haven't heard about or is a little bit more rare, but nonetheless still pretty shocking.
Let's get it.
Yeah, pretty disturbing, dude.
And speaking of Japanese, there's this guy, right? His name is Issei Sagawa. And you told me about him, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the context was, but you're like, hey, there's this guy. And basically, I'm not going to tell you what he did yet, but, you know, this guy, he grew up in...
Flashback.
In Japan in the 50s and 60s in this town called Kobe. Home of the rare beef.
Mm-hmm.
The Kobe beef, the Wagyu.
Kobe.
But this man, you know, he didn't crave cow. He had his mind fixated on something else. And when he was a little boy, he had this dream.
Mm-hmm.
That he and his brother were being boiled alive in a big pot
Volcano.
to make soup.
Oh my God.
A little bit of that sibling soup, that sibling stew.
Oh.
You know, you've heard of raw men, but have you ever tried raw boys?
Oh!
Mm-mm.
Now, this is what he was dreaming about. And since then, he had a fascination with eating people.
Mm-hmm.
he got that little flesh fetish and was just hungry for Homo sapien.
Yeah.
And
Soon after.
He goes to school. He sees one of the fellow schoolboys. Takes a peek at his exposed thigh, and he thinks,
I looked at the dish and I thought...
And so, we have the makings of a cannibal. And he's
not like you.
He doesn't act on the schoolboy. I've listened to Schoolboy Q, but I've never had Schoolboy BBQ. But our boy Issei Sagawa definitely wanted that. But interestingly enough, he was born premature.
Yeah, that plays a role in this, I think.
I think it does, because he has a rich dad.
Trillions!
So already, that's only spelling trouble. You got to live up to those expectations. And he was born, apparently he could fit in the palm of his dad's hand.
When he was born.
When he was born.
not as an adult.
Well, yeah. And as an adult, his dad absolutely palmed him like a basketball in other ways.
He had to hold him with two palms.
Yeah, it was more of a double.
Just one, yeah.
Cradle him.
Yeah.
But he did always feel weak. And I think subconsciously or whatever, he sort of felt like he needed to absorb other people. You become a full human by eating other people.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like that. He was kind of like Majin Buu in that way.
Oh, yeah.
He would absorb it to get more powerful.
Maybe that's where they took a little influence from Majin Buu.
Yeah, I mean, they do both happen to be Japanese men.
Yeah.
It's over 9,000!
So we had that Majin Buu.
Several months later.
And if you guys are following, he was growing up. Now now it's time for him to go to college. He still hasn't acted on this fantasy.
He did engage in bestiality, though, with his pup.
Did he?
Yeah.
Whoa.
He admitted to that.
Oh my God.
That was like his beginnings, was doing that.
Damn, he was getting down with his dog?
Mm-hmm.
His family dog?
His family dog.
He entered it?
Yeah, it said, yeah.
Damn. What was the dog's name? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I think it was like Bruno or something.
Bruno. Oh shit. Like Brock or something?
Brocker.
Brocker. Brockery.
Yeah,
sorry.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, sorry.
I'm sorry. So he's in college now in Tokyo. And he realizes he has a type, right? Blonde European women.
Let's go!
There's something very vital about them. He likes his girls BEW.
It's on!
Blonde European and woman.
Bew.
Majin Buu. And so he gets this German teacher and is obsessed with her. And is like, damn, okay, it's time, I want to do something.
Let go!
So one day he follows his German...
Wait. He goes to France.
No, this is before that.
Oh, okay. I even told myself, hold off, because he's going to get there, and you were, and I should.
So he follows his German teacher home. And his German teacher waits for her to fall asleep, right? And then basically tries to make off like a bandit with a piece of her butt cheek. And, I've eaten that steak and shake before, but I've never done a bun and run.
Oh!
And that's what this guy was trying to do. He was trying to
run.
he was trying to sneak a cheek out there. I've cut class to get ass, but I've never, cut ass after class, and that's what he was trying to do. But our boy Issei Sagawa was ill prepared for this.
Fuck.
He didn't bring anything.
When have any of our plans ever actually worked?
He just had tunnel vision after class, was horned up, and just followed her home with no tools or plan or anything in place.
We get there, all hell breaks loose.
Because he had that tunnel vision, and the tunnel was, her asshole. And so he's looking around that round tunnel. Did you say brown tunnel or round tunnel?
They both work.
That browned tunnel.
Browned. Brined and browned.
That brined brown tunnel. And he's looking around her house for something sharp, presumably a katana or something along that line, and he can't find it, but he wakes her up. She shrieks or whatever, and he flees the scene. I think there was some charges pressed, but his rich daddy was able to get him out of it. And then he went to see like a therapist, tried to figure it out, and he was actually like deemed like a danger by the therapist a little bit.
If anything, he
But
feels
his
more
like dad was
dangerous.
able to like pay him out of that too.
Many months later.
So he goes to Paris for another education. He starts studying literature there.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, he was very kept to himself a lot, and literature was his how
really?
he kind of engaged with the world.
He seemed
was
like
a loner.
He was a loner, but he was very artsy. Like he was kind of pretty intellectual, as a loner could be, because you're lost in your books and so he's probably a very convincing guy, very charming man. He befriended this Dutch student named René Hartvelt.
Who?
And, they develop a friendship because they can chop it up pretty easily about,
Had to say it.
they chop it up about, art, culture, politics, poetry, all sorts of things. They got some sort of chemistry,
Who's that friend?
and he tries to sort of, initiate like a more sexual relationship with her. She says no.
Nah.
That's a nay from nay.
Nini.
That's gonna be a nay for Renee, dog.
Oh!
And he is
I
upset.
just feel so
And he decides,
angry.
I'm going to take matters into my own hands and figure out a way to feast on this woman's flesh.
It's over.
And, he invited her for dinner over a lot. Invited her over for dinner a lot. To like, just eat and talk, shoot the shit. And so one night he invites her over for dinner. But unbeknownst to old girl, the main course is she.
Is she?
He wanted to see how Renee Hartvelt's heart felt in his mouth. And tonight was the night. So the way he does it is he gets her to read a poem into a tape recorder. And as she's reciting the poem, he goes behind her and shoots her in the back of the neck.
Oh my god.
Monster.
She dies. She's on the floor.
It's so bleak. I forgot about that aspect of the tape recorder.
Who was that friend?
Yes.
So fucked.
He listens to the recordings of the tape as he does what he does to her after that. If you Google him, you can figure out exactly what he did, but it involved, ingesting and digesting her in a number of ways. And then
Ourselves a little late night snack, did we?
he tried to pack up her pieces into suitcases and flee the scene into the streets of Paris.
Better clear off.
But he got paranoid that people were watching him and they could see like blood on the suitcases. So he just went back
He's back.
to where he did it,
He's back.
kept eating her, and then waited to get caught.
He just waited there?
He just chilled there, I think. I think eventually the police got hold of him, and he straight up was like, I killed her because I wanted to consume her flesh. And they're like, all right.
I do this because I love her.
And then during what proceeded, the French court deemed him unfit to stand trial and legally insane. And so he was like in some sort of jail cell for a couple years, I think, or something. And then he was transferred to a mental asylum for a couple years. And rich homie dad was like,
Excuse me.
can I pay to have him transferred to like a mental hospital? And they were like, yeah. And so he goes to a mental hospital, does a program for like 5 months,
A month?
and then he's out. He's freed. He's a free man. Flies back to Japan.
That was fun.
Lives not only a normal life, but kind of a celebrated life. He becomes kind of like a folk legend.
King.
He goes on talk shows and he talks about how he eats people. He's like, talking about how it's kind of a
I ain't
vibe.
about
He
it.
like writes about it. He paints like he like does paintings of naked women. Does photography. All sorts of stuff. And I think that's the craziest part, is that he got away with it.
Wonder if he has to like pay the family of Renee it seems like he would have to pay them like a portion of his income from that
Right.
shit,
I know.
or everything. Like it's just so
Yeah.
fucked. I imagine they're so pissed that
I didn't do much. Yeah, they're probably like so. I
it's like,
bet
what
there's.
the hell, dude?
Yeah, I doubt that there's much remuneration for them.
Yeah, it's
But-
unfortunate, man.
Unfortunate though. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the time that a kid bit my butt cheek when I was in elementary school?
Oh my God, was he Japanese?
No, he was not.
All right.
But yeah, he bit my butt cheek, and I like started crying in the class.
Where did he bite it? Where were you?
In like my first grade.
In the class?
Just in the class. I was like standing up, and he bit my butt cheek.
And
there was like teeth marks.
Oh my God. Uh-huh.
My mom worked at the school, so I like went to her and like told her, and she was like, "Oh, that's not good." And so like the kid apologized. I actually ended up being friends with him. He was he was a nice guy.
Shout out.
Maybe he had the inner workings of Sagawa.
He didn't say why he did it or anything?
No, he just I think he did say he did say I like him so much.
Oh my
like
God.
About me.
Yeah, like
something.
he's such a good friend. He's so cool that I just wanted to bite him.
Maybe he wanted to absorb my energy.
Oh wow,
and
dude.
That's how he did it. But yeah, I remember. Yeah, I just had a flashback to that.
Where's he at now?
I don't know. I think he might still be in Charleston. He's not in a mental facility or anything, so he's good. I don't think he did anything too dirty.
That's good.
Yeah.
How old would he be now? Our age?
Yeah, he's probably like a year older than us.
Okay, so Issei didn't really do this until he was like 32, so
yeah,
we've still got a chance. We still got to keep an eye on old.
We'll keep an eye out for this guy.
You know, we're on that anti-cannibal patrol here on the pod.
Yeah, that's just so crazy. What a wild story.
Yeah, man. And if you Google him and you Google image search him, there's so many like good film pics of him, like traveling the world and like Iceland, like swagged to the nines and like a cool drip. He's Gucci'd the fuck out, draped in the latest YSL, just like chilling. But I have read, I haven't like looked too much into it, but I think in modern times nowadays he's having difficulty finding work.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I don't think he's gonna be working at any office or
no. Yeah, so I'm not sure if like, you know, he's still getting dividends from his publishing royalties or whatever, but old boy might be struggling.
Yeah, I think something.
And he openly wants to eat another person before he dies. He said, I want to eat a Japanese woman before I die.
You said he's an advocate, right? For like
he's basically that cannibal activist. Yeah,
he's like, yeah. That's just so. That's just so funny that there's like actually somebody like that. He has.
Yeah. He's like, normalize eating people.
Yeah. You know, there's like NAMBLA, the National American Man Boy Love Association or whatever.
No.
There's like that, but I wonder if there's like CAMBLA.
Wow.
Or like,
NAMBLA.
would that be NAC?
NACBLA
or something?
National Association of Cannibal.
Boy Love Association.
Boy Love. NACBLA.
NACBLA. Yeah.
ACLU, Association of Cannibal Liberties Union.
Unified. Yeah, man. Creepy guy.
Let me just say this.
Creepy guy, but you know what I really want to know is, what do you think those farts smelled like after he ate her?
Oh my God, dude. You gotta be so bad. Hair smells so bad when it's burning.
And he ate her in a lot of ways, dude. So like, because you know, farts are they're sort of fragments of a ghost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a little fart. That's just a piece of the spirit of what you ate. It's different than a burp, because a burp still smells like the food you ate.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of just opening up the locker into. But when you fart, the food you ate went through some sort of demonic math in your personal easy bake oven, your inside crematorium.
Mm-hmm.
It's deceased. A little bit of that spirit pushes itself out your behind, and poof, you got that haunted fraction.
So it's like enters through your body, and that's a new dimension that it's traveling through.
It transcends to another dimension.
As it leaves, it just has that ghost. Yeah.
It's on a completely different spectrum now when it comes out.
Yeah, because I was thinking of the shape of a fart.
Yeah.
You know how it just kind of like, if you were to visualize it, it kind of comes out like that, I guess.
And it's different energy depending on what. Sometimes it's slow.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it just dissipates. Sometimes it's thick and musty, depending on, because you know, you could eat like a California roll and some miso soup, and you fart and it smells like the inside of a corn cob.
Yeah,
for some reason. You know, we were driving and Jenny, my GF Jenny, she had some pepperoni and some cheese,
mm-hmm.
and then she ate some ranch sunflower seeds, and she passed one of those holy spirits through the behind, and the car kind of smelled like baby corn soup.
That's so random. So that concoction of food smelled like that. Had she had that previous?
No, I don't even think baby corn soup exists. There's baby corn. You can imagine what it smells like.
Yeah, I can picture it. Yeah, I can totally picture it. But yeah, that's interesting.
It's weird, dude. And so there's definitely some sort of alchemy, some chemistry going on.
Mm-hmm.
The food afterlife is different.
Well, it's blending. It's probably blending with remnants of food that are like, that don't quite all dissipate out of you.
Exactly.
So it's just, it's like a little miniature alchemy set.
It's a miniature alchemy set, and it's only a partial ghost. It's a spooky percentage because it's not full ghost until I think you shit it out.
Mm-hmm. You're building that ghost. And you know what I want to know is, you know how we have this particular idea of what an alien looks like?
Yeah.
And we have this particular idea what a ghost looks like.
Yeah,
People have,
so the alien's
shape.
like humanoid,
Mm-hmm.
just similar to humans, but with eyes or translucent.
Yeah, I wonder if ghosts are like insulted by that imagery that
Right.
we make of them.
Because, dude, I was thinking about that the other day. We don't know what shape they're in. And also, if it's true that ghosts like float around like human-like,
Mm-hmm.
that is truly a restless existence because you can float through doors and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you can float through walls, but you can never sit down or lay down. Like there's no weight to you.
Similar to a fish, for sure.
Similar to a fish.
Floating in water. I mean, fishes have weight. But
Yeah, I assume fishes can rest somehow.
But I think, don't fish sleep and they just float sleep? Like
Maybe.
they don't like lay down on the ground and sleep.
That's true.
So, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, their existence just continues to float.
Yeah, I wonder what it feels like. I wonder if you're like a gas among gas, if it feels kind of like floating.
Man, that's kind of...
I guess we all kind of are that at our nucleus, but...
One day we'll be able to interview a ghost for the pod.
I'd like to. I think we're not tuned into that spectrum yet to be able to see them, but...
We do need to get some sort of... we should get some sort of like fortune teller on here, or one of those people who contacts with ghosts, and then ask her to ask them questions.
Oh, dude, that would be awesome.
That'd be really fun.
There's one off Gallatin.
Mm-hmm.
We should hit her up.
We shouldn't do it here, though, because I don't want to like raise up any ghosts.
Yeah, we need to be here for a minute.
Yeah.
We're not trying to have ghost roommates, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have no idea what those farts would smell like.
Oh,
it's probably so bad, I wouldn't know. I don't have any. I don't eat any people
yet.
There's no Homo sapien in my food pyramid.
I'll say this: you're not 32 yet, so we don't know. Yeah. Jury's out.
As for now, I'm on that no homo diet.
Yeah.
No Homo sapiens that I consume.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm not shitting out. I'm not at this juncture, and I think you're on the same page as me. I'm not trying to shit out, human teeth like they're corn kernels.
No, I would not like that. Oh, that would be so painful too.
Yeah, that's not a good stool to pass.
No.
And I'd accidentally swallow those teeth. I take big bites. I don't chew.
It's true.
But speaking of shitting out ghosts, y'all ever heard of this company Tushy? They make bidets, and they're the dopest bidets in the game. We've got the Tushy Classic.
It is impeccable.
It's a fucking game changer.
Immaculate machine.
It's got a self-washing nozzle, so me and Blake share one, and just sort of it hit that wash feature in between.
Mm-hmm.
And when you spray it up onto yourself, into yourself, around yourself, it's powerful physically and emotionally.
I was a little nervous at first when we were using it. I was worried it was gonna, I didn't know what to expect, the sensation wise, but I feel like the pressure is like just perfect enough.
Yeah, and it's kind of fun trying to dial in just the right amount of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on this pod, we're those booty boys. We're always talking about butts. We're always talking about perineums, and you got to take care of that sensitive back hole.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been thinking about getting a bidet. And so all we do is we turn that thing on and we wash after a little, and then we dab with a little bamboo toilet paper, also from Tushy. It's super eco-friendly, and it's just I can't imagine a world other than that now.
Yeah, I had an experience where I left the house for a couple days, like a day or two, and I was without it, and I will say it was hard. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was hard living without it and knowing I couldn't use it.
It's 2020. Why are we still wiping ass?
Yeah,
like we're in the fucking dark ages, bruh.
Yeah, you're leaving that residue if you don't have one. It's gnarly.
Yeah, stop wiping your butt and start washing with Tushy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you hit that link in our description, it's our special little affiliate link. You'll get we'll get a little kickback on anything you buy off of there. And if you use code HNEW, that's HNEW, you'll get 10% off. They got a portable bidet. They got one that warms up the water for you. They got all sorts of stuff. And, you know, I know you've been thinking about getting one. I know you've been thinking about gifting one. Now's your chance. This is a sign. So go check that out. If you want to support us in any other ways, you can go on our Patreon. There's one tier. You get discounts. You get discounts on merch. We have free patron merch coming soon. It's literally on the way. Or you can go honestlynotevenworried.com, buy our shirts. I want to do nothing else with my life but this podcast, and that is how you help me do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, the Tushy bidet is sick.
Yeah, I really love it. I'm working up my pressure resistance.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how hard I can get.
It feels like it's gonna rip something when it's like high up there.
Yeah, it's gonna go through my mouth.
The other day I was literally watching a Dua Lipa music video on the toilet and like letting the thing wash my ass, and I didn't even realize, like, it just felt so normal to me. But then I had like a breaking the fourth wall moment and was like, wow, I never thought this would be a situation I would be in. I never thought this would be my life, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm just imagining middle school you seeing that happen.
Do you believe in ghosts?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Like they're just like a energy of ex living things.
Yeah, I think that they just kind of are always around us, and then at certain times it's a little more sensitive.
Right.
They come through a little more.
Like they come through a little more.
Yeah, you know, there's just so many like times when it seems like people report more ghosts happening, and I think there's just a sensitivity to like breaking through to our like both of our. I don't know if dimension is the right word, but like just on the same plane.
Okay.
You know, there's like a threshold that's open for both worlds.
And so there's some people out there that are just sort of they inundate themselves with the ghost world a lot and are sort of on the lookout for it and are probably predisposed to being tuned into those frequencies.
I would say that's a factor for sure.
And those are like more mediums or people who experience freaky deaky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm definitely open to the possibility that, you know, of a spectrum that we can't quite tune into yet.
Yeah, I think there's just so many things that are unexplainable that would help kind of explain it, you know.
True.
Certain things that just happen.
Right.
Noises we hear, movements we feel,
it's
changes of temperature.
Yeah, it's energy.
Yeah.
And it's not that weird for that to be a possibility.
Yeah.
It's just about as weird as everything we're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a thing for sure. I want to call somebody about it. Let's get into that. Huh?
Yeah, let's do it. I think it just makes life a little more interesting too.
Yeah,
it's like a little added spice.
A little spirits.
Yeah, a little spirit. Yeah.
Do you think they're like malicious in intent, or do you think they are just kind of here to chill?
I bet it's similar to like humanity, dude. I bet there's like a small portion that are malicious, and the majority of them are dope and chill.
Dope, chill, and there's probably like a whole culture. Like they've got their own systems and world and stuff.
Yeah, maybe they have a jail, you know? Maybe they have
straight to jail.
They probably don't have cops though. They probably figured it out.
Yeah, man, they're just bunch
of ACAB ghosts.
Yeah. They're like, first things first, since we're starting fresh, no police.
We're abolishing them.
Yeah. No rest. They're restless. No rest, no peace, no ghost police.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's call this person I've never met before.
Yes. Oh, they might not have FaceTime.
Oh, fuck.
Because it might have a Android.
Android? All right.
Yeah. You can close out of that. Yeah. Just a picture of a Bichon Frise in my messages.
You can just exit out of that dog picture.
You can close out of that. You've never seen it before.
Don't mind that.
Which, oddly enough, I will say Bichon Frise is a very ghost-like looking dog.
Right. I hope she'll answer because, you know, I don't think she has your number or knows.
Probably won't, but... Well, she probably doesn't know my number, but she'll answer. I have a feeling. I'm tuned in.
Hello?
Hi, is this at spicy.vitamins?
Yes! Yes, that's me. Hey,
Oh
my name is Trista.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Wait, who is this?
This is Nilo G from Honestly Not Even Worried, the podcast.
Hello. Thank you so much. A, for responding to my DM. B,
Yes.
for being cousins with Rudy, because he's cool as fuck.
Hell yeah.
C, I went to school with Zelda, and I hung out with them somewhat in LA. Either way, yes, hello. Thank you for calling me.
Are you in LA now? I'm here with Blake as well. Say hi to
Hey,
Blake.
what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Yes, I'm definitely in LA. Actually, it's my buddy's birthday today, so
Happy
you know,
birthday.
happy birthday. But I went to go get them like a bunch of like really fancy donuts. So I just got donuts, and I'm in my car trying to cool down. So that's where I'm at right now. But excellent. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm afraid I'm like spending too many good subjects talking before the pod.
No,
You guys have?
we're recording now. We could touch on some stuff. Did you go to Columbia?
Yes. Okay. So, yes, I went to Columbia. So basically, I started listening to your pod in quarantine because I think I tweeted. I was like, I need to get on a podcast.
Right.
Unless I like want to continue to reach out and talk to people, because isn't that what quarantine is all about?
100%.
Yeah, but
That stranger interaction.
Oh my god, I know. I'm like, I miss, and I hate saying that I'm an extrovert, but I am. But I miss talking to strangers, and you can't do that right now. So, either way, but yeah, I grew up actually. I went to Lake Zurich High School, but my dad lived in Barrington, so I was kind of between Barrington and Lake Zurich. Are you guys all Schaumburg kids?
Okay, so me and Blake both went to Columbia. Blake's from Charleston. I'm from Bartlett, Illinois.
Damn. Okay.
So we went to the same. Wait, what'd you study there?
So I studied illustration with Zelda, and I was like, I don't know, whenever I meet a lot of people from Columbia out in LA, and I'm like, I'm never really gonna recommend Columbia. I'm sorry. I think it was great. I had a good experience, like outside of Columbia. It was like fun as fuck, but I don't know. What did you guys study? And also, when did you graduate?
We both studied audio. I dropped out, and Blake finished with flying colors.
I agree with you. I probably wouldn't recommend it to like the school, but meeting the people, that was like the best part of it for sure. The network.
I remember they had that big commencement day where they're like, everybody party, we're in Grant Park. The president was like, here's the thing, find your tribe, blah blah blah, and I'm like, that's dumb as hell. And then I actually did.
When did you graduate?
So I actually I graduated in 2015, and then like a month later I moved to LA because I was like, I said I was going to graduate, and I did it, and I got to get out of here.
Yeah, God, that must feel so long ago now, right? 2015.
I know.
Yeah. It's like it's totally like a ghost. Like I think of myself back then, and I feel like I'm like conjuring up a ghost. Like I don't remember that time at all. It's such a weird time. Thought completely differently.
Yeah, we were different people back then.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
even, obviously in the beginning of this year seems like 10 years ago too. But
every month is like long as hell nowadays.
Every month is a decade, and I'm aging terribly. It's so bad. but it's fine. Wait, and then, so this is also me interviewing you guys, because, side note, I want to do my own podcast, but I don't know how to do any editing, so I'm slowly but surely learning how to do GarageBand, even though I should have fucking known how to done that.
Right.
But you guys are in Nashville, though, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, another side note, I love LA, but it's so fucking rough and it's so fucking expensive out here. And I'm thinking that if I am to jump to a new city in America, would Nashville be a place you would recommend?
100%.
How do you guys feel about it?
I was trying to tell Rudy to move here too, because I was like, you know, it's not necessarily that I love Nashville as a city or like as anything in particular, but there's amazing people here, one, and two, the whole price thing, like, you know, the industry is everywhere now, and you can rent a house here for the price that you would pay for like the shittiest apartment in LA, and then you have your whole house to like turn into your creative studio or whatever and build a business out of it. So I like super recommend it, especially if you're somebody who does work remotely and stuff. Like, it's a great place to be, and there's no income tax.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I never understand why different states have no income tax. It's probably something that's above my head. We don't have to get into
Well, yeah, I think I think we just have way more potholes.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, it's just a bumpier ride. But,
yeah, it's a bumpier ride, but that's the South,
chill.
you know? We're nitty gritty down here.
There you go. Well, I went to Lake Zurich High School, and then I was like, I don't know where the fuck I want to go. So I threw a dart at the map, and I went to the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. So I lived in Knoxville for a year.
Oh.
So I know a little bit of Tennessee.
Knoxville's cool. Knoxville's like the mountains, yeah?
I love it, dude. Me and my buddies did like a weekend trip. We went to Asheville, North Carolina for like a minute. So
Asheville, I love Asheville.
Yeah, I have like a soft spot for the South, but
yeah, and Nashville's pretty central, so you can get everywhere within like a day. You know, you could get to Florida, you could get to Chicago, you could get to the East Coast, you could get not really anywhere cool west, but in like 2 days you could.
Kansas. Well, like you could go to like Missouri or something. I don't know. I got
those
map, but it's like you can definitely go somewhere.
Okay, so do you believe in ghosts?
Okay, so I actually was talking to my sister about this podcast because I'm like, I'm going to be on a podcast. It's going to be great. Yeah. And I described your podcast like it was like middle school, like, okay, do you guys watch Pen 15? Because I just finished season 2, or at least the first part of season 2.
I've seen season 1.
I need to watch it.
I think it's great and it's amazing, but I feel like your podcast is very much like middle school, just like would you rather questions, and I love it. So I was thinking about it. I do believe in ghosts and I do believe in aliens. I have seen neither, but I still want to hold out hope for either of those.
Yeah, it makes life a little spicier, a little more interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have any data to prove against that, so I don't want to just like always have that shut off in my life,
Exactly. Mm-hmm. We have no proof otherwise, and I feel like the existence of ghosts is like just as weird as the existence of us.
Yeah. Well, and somebody said this online, or maybe somebody said this in a TV show, but they said that like if there are ghosts, there has to be way more ghosts in the world than there are current living people.
Right? Yeah, that's
so many more people have died.
We're absolutely swimming in ghosts for sure.
Or there's got to be that theory of like dimensions, where it's like there are different ghosts in different dimensions. There are different living people in different dimensions.
I need that theory.
Several dimensions.
I think that's a thing, but also I don't know. Have you guys seen a ghost? Have you actually had a ghost encounter?
I've seen a ghost.
You've seen multiple ghosts?
I've definitely seen one. I don't know about I don't know about multiple, but definitely one.
What's the story?
Can you give us a ghost story?
Well, it was in middle school, and I was staying at a friend's house, and I'm laying on his floor sleeping, and he's laying in his bed sleeping, and I remember like rolling over on my side, and I just saw this like little girl like sitting next to me like Indian style, Native American style, just looking at me. Like, and I just remember being like, and I like flipped over to the other side, and then I was like, Evan, there's like definitely like a little girl laying next to me, and he was like, dude, go to bed. Like, just, totally just being like, you're just streaming, like, just go to bed. And I just remember the rest of the night just being like, feeling like something was looking at me.
Whoa, that is so weird.
Night. I will say the next day I had very bad food poisoning. So I'm wondering
delirium or something?
If it was something from the Easy Mac that I ate the night before that gave me food poisoning.
Did everyone eat the Easy Mac, or were you just the one with like bad gastro problems?
It was definitely just me with bad gastro problems. But yeah, that was like probably the freakiest, because I remember it was cold too. Like, it was colder in the room, like when I felt that presence. So that's
wow.
Can I ask, like, do you remember what the ghost was wearing? Because I feel like this is like a, Victorian doll situation. This is what I see.
It was definitely like a dress situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Crisscross applesauce in a dress.
Yeah, that's what was creepy. And I need to get the backstory on their house to see if there's any sort of like haunting past there. But I can't remember if he told me there was or not. So...
Damn.
Yeah, it's freaky as hell.
And think of how many people have a story like that, or even more concrete than that. And I trust you, like I know you, that you wouldn't lie about seeing that,
Yeah.
Do you have any possible like explanations that you thought of besides just the Easy Mac gave you gas?
Yeah.
That's the thing, is I really can't think of any reason why there would have been a little girl there, because his sister was older.
Yeah.
He didn't have any younger sisters. Like, it wasn't like a dog or something. Like, it wasn't like it was just so clearly a human being. Like, just in the dark you can see the outlines of a person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just so like visually like a little girl that like.
Was this girl looking at you, or was she just calm?
No, she was looking down at me.
Oh.
That's why I was really
no.
scared, because it's like, I don't know. That's been like one of the freakiest things, and I think it continues to influence things that I'm afraid of as an adult.
Did you guys watch a scary movie beforehand, or were you like, this was just a normal sleepover?
No, it was just a normal sleepover from what I can remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So going forward as an adult, are you afraid of the dark? And it's okay to say yes, and it's okay to say no, and we can dive in after that. But
I'm definitely like a little bit afraid of the dark. I will say, like, the scariest thing to me is like something staring at me while I'm sleeping, like Paranormal Activity, like when she's standing over the bed just looking at him for hours.
Now here's where did Paranormal Activity start that scare of somebody standing over your bed for hours? And like, what is it about ghosts, one, that want to do that, and why is it so scary? Like, because for me, the scariest part of that is like the pure stamina and endurance it takes to stand up that long. Like, you're looking at over, like, who are you, fucking David Blaine?
Yeah,
like,
that's very true. Yeah,
and then you
moving in.
You wake up the next, like, your roommate wakes up the next morning or whatever, and their legs aren't sore.
yeah, that's so true.
Now that is scary as shit.
Her thighs would be throbbing at that point.
And she's like, why do I have, delayed onset muscle soreness right now?
oh my god. Yeah, I think it's definitely the endurance, and it's also with Paranormal Activity. I remember being most scared that like you were watching this movie at such an unsettling angle of like all these, cameras set in a house at these, like very in the corner of a room kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god.
The first Paranormal Activity made a cultural shift for sure.
It was incredible.
Yeah. I
remember driving home and the ghost name was Toby. And I was just like, the whole time I was like, fuck Toby. He's in the car. He's here.
They named the ghost Toby?
Yeah, his name is Toby.
I gotta watch Paranormal Activity. How many did they make? Did they make 2 or 3?
Toby Maguire. They made like 4.
Yeah, they made 4.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys into scary movies? I feel like every October you are. All right. Every October I try to get into a scary movie and then I chicken out. I watched The Birds recently and it's not that exciting as
that one was weird. That's an old one?
It's Hitchcock, so it's going to be like a lot of build up, but I thought it was scarier as I was a kid.
Yeah, that was a creepy movie.
So you're not into scary movies?
I want to be a person that is into scary movies, but I think I'm more into like psychological fucked up than like jump scares, but I want to be more resistant against jump scares,
Yeah. Me and Blake are pretty desensitized. We could throw one on twice a day probably.
Yeah, I love them so much.
Okay, what's some? Do you have any recommendations for somebody? I mean, I'm not like a baby, but I definitely do want some recs where I can be like, all right. And here's the thing, I'm gonna watch them by myself because I think that like kind of makes you tougher.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Trying to think of one that's like a night, because do you like so you like the dark psychological shit?
Yeah.
I'd say Hereditary for sure.
Oh, I definitely watched Hereditary by myself when I was dog sitting.
Okay,
that's crazy. If you can withstand
and the dogs went crazy at the end, like barking at midnight, and then I had to sleep with the lights on. So that was rough.
That's terrifying.
I knew it was a movie, so it was fine. But all right, Hereditary is good.
Midsummer's good. I would say if you want more,
I do love Midsummer.
The Invitation, I really like that movie. That one.
The Invitation.
Invitation.
Speaking of cults, it actually has nothing to do with that, but check out that movie. The Invitation. It's good.
Invitation.
Yeah.
Have you guys? Speaking of cults, we can talk more about ghosts. Have you guys seen The Vow on HBO?
Oh, I'm in the middle of watching that now.
Is that the nun one?
Oh, okay, cool.
No, that's the Nixium one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Keith Raniere. Yeah, I think we're going to talk about that in the next episode of the pod. We're going to do more cults. But okay, so we had 64% people that I asked believed in ghosts. 54% said no. Have you had any like personal paranormal encounters or anything like that?
I personally don't think I've had a ghost encounter. I've had an encounter that I think was an alien, but it could have been an alien ghost hybrid. Okay. But I don't think anybody believes me. But I know my sister's definitely had an encounter with a ghost that she swears is our grandpa that passed away.
What happened?
And it was another thing like Blake said where it was just, he was just kind of sitting. It was at a sleepover in middle school, and she woke up in the middle of the night, and our grandpa was just like sitting on the bed, like looking at her. And then I think she like tried to go back to sleep, because when you're a kid, you're not going to, like, what are you going to do? I mean, would you do something? I mean, if you were a kid now, would you try to like fight it or like turn on all the lights and
I don't
confront it or
know.
what?
I've had sleep paralysis all my life, so like for a long time I did think I was like possessed because I saw The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and I saw like the girl like floating above her bed, and like I was like, that's kind of how I feel when I sleep sometimes. So I think I'm possessed by a demon. So I sort of like I don't know, because sometimes when that kind of stuff happens, you can't really do anything. It just like whatever has more power than you do, and you just sort of are at the behest of these. It's like the end of Hereditary.
Yeah. Well, you just have to kind of wait it out and like go with the flow, like the end of Hereditary, where you're just like, this is what's meant to happen, and this is
I've been chosen.
I'm just gonna do it.
My head is gonna get chopped off, and that's how we gotta do it.
Yeah, just crawl back into that clubhouse or the treehouse or whatever. And just do what you're supposed to be doing.
And if you haven't seen the movie yet, that's on you, honestly.
Yeah, there's no
I know.
spoiler
I don't think we're
alerts.
giving too much away. So.
Fine.
But
okay.
Yo, Teresa, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna move on here to greener pastures and talk about some other polls. I'm super glad we got to meet you on the phone, and
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for listening. That's awesome.
No, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you so much for calling me. I'm so excited to be OTP.
You are OTP.
You guys are cool as hell, and I wish you all the best going forward. Please keep on doing it. It is helping everybody in these times.
Oh, absolutely. God bless. Thank you so much. Yeah, you take care.
To you.
All right, we'll do. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Very nice.
Very dope.
Cool. Shout out. That's Teresa at spicy.vitamins. Wow, I didn't know you saw the ghost. I think you've told me that story though.
I thought I told you that before. And I think you may have told me that you think that's. Didn't you say that kind of sounds sleep paralysis?
Yeah,
sleep
for sure.
Paralysis.
Paralysis for sure.
Yeah. I can get that. I get that. It's a freaky one, man.
That is freaky. That is freaky to think about, dude.
I gave her the name. I remember I gave her the name Desiree.
Desiree.
I don't know why.
Wow.
But I remember that.
When I was younger, maybe middle school or probably middle school, my friend Justin asked me if I had any siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And just for fun, I lied and I told him I had one sister. And he asked me what her name was, and I couldn't think of a name, so I just told him her name was Ebony.
Ebony
Galang.
Ebony Galang.
And I forgot to tell him that I was joking.
Oh no.
And so like a couple months later, he was like, how's Ebony? And I was like, who? He's like, your sister. I was like, oh, bro, no, I don't have that. So now he still talks to me about it to this day. He's like, dude, how's Ebony?
That's so funny, dude. He went like a full couple months. He was like,
wow.
What Nilo's sister looks like. I
wonder what she's like. How come she's never there?
Never seen her.
Must be way older than us. So the next poll I want to talk about, at Rudy Larejo said, would you rather be haunted for 40 years or do the haunting for 40 years?
Yeah. This is pretty staggering, the numbers for this one.
Yeah, okay, so 11% said they'd be haunted with a total of 6 votes, and 89% said they'd do the haunting. That's 47 votes.
We're just a bunch of savages, dude.
Yeah, you don't, I mean, it makes sense. Who wants to be haunted?
For 40 years?
People would rather die and do haunting than be haunted for 40. What if being haunted is not that bad? Maybe a lot of us have low-grade haunting going on, and we don't even realize it's like inflammation.
That's true. It's just a light haunt.
Yeah, it creeps up, and some people have like ghost gout, or they'll get attacks of ghost.
Yeah. Well, haunting. I feel like the association with haunt is a bad thing, right?
Yeah.
Like haunt is not a pleasant.
No. What is a haunt really? You're just sort of looming, making everybody uncomfortable.
You're gaunt.
You're gaunt.
There's a gaunt figure haunting you.
Sauntering through the room, flaunting your haunt.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. But
so if there's like a guy, if you're having like a party and you're in a room and one guy's just sort of in the corner ruining the vibe, like with his presence, could you say he's haunting us?
I guess so.
Yeah, kind of. If he's scaring you, this room is haunted. And I know who it is.
Yeah, if you're walking down the street and like a neighbor is just kind of like glaring at you as you pass by, is that
absolutely
haunted? It's haunting me.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe that's a low level haunt.
Yeah, dude. Normalize the word haunt. for things that are just kind of like giving you the heebie-jeebies.
We have to specify the level of haunt. I wanna assume that people were thinking extreme haunting.
Yeah.
Which in my
doors
mind,
and pans and shit flying around. Yeah, 40 years would be fucking terrible.
I wonder if after like 2 years of it, though, you're just annoyed. You're just like, well, fuck, like all my shit's on the ground. Like,
I drink out of rubber cups now.
yeah. Unbreakable ceramic cups for me, baby.
Yeah, for sure. I strap into my bed and it's like in a suspension ball.
It's just your stereo just like comes on really loud and then turns off. That would be so irritating.
God,
dude.
that would suck, dude.
Yeah, you definitely get tinnitus.
You know, one person said haunting sounds like a lot of work, especially for 40 years.
Yeah.
And at least when you're haunted, you can just lay down. And that's what had me thinking, when you're a ghost, you'd never get the satisfaction of laying the fuck down.
Yeah, that's really true. Yeah, if you're in the process of haunting for 40 years, do you get a break?
And what does a break look like for a ghost?
I guess it doesn't involve laying down. You're always floating, so maybe you could float lay down.
Do ghosts sleep? No, they don't sleep, they don't eat.
That's another thing.
Organs.
Are they constantly like hungry? You know, what if when you die, whatever food you had in your belly is the level of hunger you're at?
Okay.
That would be wild.
This is why I make sure I'm always full.
Yep. That's smart, man.
Yeah, because if you know, I pray the Lord my soul to keep, but like if I die in my sleep, I ain't trying to be hungry in the afterlife.
No way, dude. That would be so upsetting.
Just
yeah.
Just floating on.
That's the way you haunt.
It's when people are eating. It's like over the dinner, I'm like,
it's just Thanksgiving. You're just floating around the table.
I just glide past. I'm like, holographic meatloaf again.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah. All right, let's call somebody who's been haunted.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, nope. Dang. Maybe
yo.
she'll text me back and say.
But we'll loop back around to that.
Yeah, we can loop back. She might call you back mid go.
She got breathed on as a child by a ghost.
That's a mid-level haunt, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's a midi haunt, dude.
For sure. Midi haunt.
Okay, so this next one from @Isaac Helson. Would you rather live with a ghost or have a ghost be your employer? This one was really hard to sort of conceptualize, but 48% of people said they'd rather have a haunted boss with 23 votes, and 52% of people said they'd rather have a spooky roomie with 25 votes.
To me, this one was a little bit easier in that I was thinking about like my relaxing time.
Right.
I picked haunted boss.
Right. I would pick haunted boss for sure, because it's like if I have that kind of job, I don't like it. So I might as well have a shitty ass boss.
And if you're haunted, it's keeping you awake at work. You're never really that tired.
Yeah.
You're kind of on edge because you're like, fuck. Like
every shift before the shift as you're driving, you're like, God damn it.
You're just like on Instagram on your computer and he just like floats up through the bottom of the floor and you're just like, God.
I better be getting, and I better be making good pay, whatever this job is, man.
Yeah.
If my boss is fucking a ghost. What's the imperative for a ghost to like run a company? You know, I guess the love of the game.
Yeah.
Because they can't be spending that ghost money. I don't know. What the fuck?
I'm trying to think what kind of job he'd be doing. What sort of company he would run.
What is he buying? Yeah, what sort of company does a ghost run?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like air cleaning.
Air compressors, air cleaning.
Just various like gas products.
It's all gaseous. Oh my
Helium,
God.
You know.
Yeah, he's doing balloon work.
He works a lot with Zeppelins.
He was doing really good until the Hindenburg. He died on the Hindenburg.
He died. Rip. Oh, yeah, and he came back to
work with gas.
And make it safer for everybody.
Mm-hmm. So he's a good. Do you think? What if he was a good boss? You know.
Well, I think for a ghost to like ignore his haunting tendencies and want to employ the living, he's got to have some sort of altruistic motive. So.
Yeah, I'm just imagining. Yeah, he's really trying to be a good guy, but sometimes he's like, ooh, like shies away from it as he
sees somebody like pissing alone in the dark, and he's like, ooh, it's like no.
No.
I promise not to haunt.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And if you
he sees like a psychiatrist for it.
had a spooky roommate, then like sleep would be so bad, and then I don't know, it'd be hard to deal with that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, you're like having sex with your GF, and he just floats across the ceiling. And you're just like, what the fuck?
It's just like laying
you're like
on the ceiling like that. It's back on the
And
ceiling.
you're like, get the fuck, go.
Yeah.
Get out of here, Carl.
Yeah, come on, man. Not again.
God, it's fucking Gertrude.
It would be dope though if you're voyeuristic.
I'm gonna call somebody about this.
Yeah.
It is an interesting proposition. Go to stevejobs.com and use code HNEW for 10% off your purchase. You will get a kickback. Use FaceTime audio for the highest quality you can.
Absolutely.
Shout out Steve. Shout out Tushy. Shout out Lizard Salt that I'm wearing.
Looks good.
Shout out. This got sold out. The thing about our merch is that when we print them, we never make them again.
Yeah.
So you got to buy them up, It'd have to be a real special occasion for me to do a reprint, like some sort of charity or something cool like that. Uh-oh.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. I hope this recording doesn't unplug.
Yeah. Is it on?
Hello.
What up, HP?
Yo.
What up?
What up? Is this
Hi.
at Hannah Paul?
It is.
Yo, this is Nilo G and Blake Boots from Honestly Not Even Worried. How you doing?
Oh my God, I'm so honored to be OTP.
Welcome to the right side of history. Welcome to the anti-cult.
Thank you.
Where are you at? Where are you calling from?
I can't stay long because I am at my mother's birthday party.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so
Happy B-Day, Ginge.
yeah, it's her day. So I baked a cake. I'm about to bring that in.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude.
Is it how's it looking? Is it pretty tasty?
Will you show the cake?
Yeah, okay, so I don't have I bought a bundt cake pan this week, and then I realized I don't have a rack or anything to put it on. So literally, it's
oh shit
in the pan.
Oh.
And I'm hoping that somebody has brought a
tray,
a rack that I can put it on.
Okay, you're just gonna have to spoon it straight from the bundt.
Yes, it might have to be that way.
Bundt spoon.
Okay, so you don't have much time, so we'll make it quick. But you had said that you, in your childhood, you were haunted by some sort of apparition, some sort of otherworldly spirit that breathed on you. So what was the context? What was the breath feel like? Did it smell bad?
Okay, let's take it back to the mid to late 90s. I'm in my childhood bedroom, and there's no vents around me. I'm not by any appliances. You know how sometimes an appliance will turn on and it'll start buzzing a little bit?
Yeah.
There's no appliances. There's I think my sister might have been outside. My parents were downstairs. I'm just playing in my room, and I felt a breath on my neck, my back, a warm breath. Oh shit. And
that was him.
It sounded like somebody was exhaling,
oh my God.
And I thought it was my sister trying to sneak up on me, because it was so realistic. And it wasn't a vent, it wasn't something outside. It was for sure a breath on me, and I turned around and there was nothing there.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
I wish.
And you could absolutely feel it.
And I remember I was thinking about it today, and I remember being paralyzed a little bit, being
oh shit.
Uh-oh. And I was I gotta get out of my room, but I'm afraid to move.
Did you get the chills or anything like that?
I got the chills, and it was so real that when I turned and nobody was there, I was what's happening?
Oh my God. Did the breath have the essence of a gender or anything? Could you gather anything from?
I think it was for sure
a young ghost or man?
I would say middle-aged. I
Whoa.
I get that vibe, maybe led a little bit of a hard life.
Did it smell at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't unfortunately remember that. But
okay.
Wait, so did you say you were sitting on the ground?
I was so I had two closets in my room, and I was kind of playing, I had one of my closet doors open, and I was in my room in that closet. And I felt it. Yeah, it was warm breath. Like when somebody comes up behind you and is creepy and is like breathing on you, it was like
oh
that.
shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's so dark.
And so from that, like, do you now believe in ghosts?
Maybe a little bit. I'm like, I believe in them when I want to believe in them. And if I hear like a cute, like sweet ghost story, I'm into it. But I don't like the thought of like me sleeping in my room and like some ghost like going through, you know?
Yeah. Turning off your lights.
Yeah, I do have that problem. There's a couple lamps in my house that like will turn on by themselves.
So freaky.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I wish I had more like I wish I had a visual to go with this. I wish I had more backstory. I know apparently there were like I think drug dealers that lived in this house before my family lived there.
Okay, that's cool. You had the history.
But so I'm like, is there something there? Like, is this somebody
that the middle-aged man was like breathed on your neck, was like, you want some meth? Crack
like,
for you. Crack.
Crack.
Heroin.
Wow.
Yes.
That's spooky.
Okay, so how old were you when you had the haunt?
That was middle school, probably like 7th grade.
Okay, and you were young. You were like, this was like kindergarten.
Kindergarten to like maybe 8, however old that is.
Okay.
They like haunting the youths.
They haunt the youths for sure. I think the youths are more open to it.
Yeah.
So they're like probably more susceptible to hearing it. Okay, well, that being said, we'll let you get back to your B-day. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. I got this cake to eat.
Yeah, you got that bunt.
You got work to do.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Yes.
Bye. Peace out.
Bye. And that was at Hannah Paul, at Blake Boots, his girlfriend. And also we have a collaboration coming out there pretty soon.
Looks so dope.
Very dope. My GF is currently in the shed that I've employed her in, working on the screen prints for it. So
yeah, she's working. I think it was a fart.
Yeah, it must have been a fart.
I
think it was a fart from herself that ricocheted up the back of the shirt to the neck.
Well, I was thinking it was a ghost fart, and that maybe that's why she can't remember the smell, because ghost farts don't have smells.
Right.
These are all facts.
Ghost farts do not have smells, and we know that.
And you'll read it in my my PDF book that I wrote.
And we know that. Okay, so have you had any ghost? You said you've had that. Have you had any other experiences besides that one?
I've just heard. I've had like very light experiences. I think the night before I went to college, the night before we drove up to Columbia to go to school there.
Yeah.
I remembered like hearing fucking weird noises downstairs.
Yeah.
And there was no one downstairs, and I was like, you know what? I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm not going to investigate this. There's no reason to.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's the Desiree story is the one that's connected with me most.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's heavy.
Have you really had any besides the sleep paralysis moments?
No, it's just a sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And that's enough to make me believe in all sorts of anything,
Yeah.
Do I believe in ghosts? Maybe. It could be. Do I believe in localizations of energy related to things that are no longer visible to us? Probably.
Yeah.
Because farts, we got farts. That's proof enough.
Yeah, those stick around.
It's spooky though, dude.
It is really spooky to just imagine that for a minute. Just imagining entities in this room right now, just either just like watching or just doing things. And yeah, it's
because there is that thing of like when you die, they say don't they say you get lighter or something?
Well, that's because you
excavate your
all
bowels.
the gas is all gone. But yeah,
But what is that? The gas?
I liked what Teresa was saying though about how there's because you were saying there's there's so many fucking ghosts probably in the world, but maybe they're all just in different dimensions. We gotta think about the dimensions. Are in dimensions, and
we gotta think about if this is a simulation, then there's a multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the only universe. It's all things are true.
Well, and if you're thinking about that aspect of things with time,
mm-hmm.
part of me wonders about right now the 1920s are happening, and they're always happening. And that time period's happening right now. It exists.
Oh, God.
But that's
Entanglement.
a mindfuck. Entanglement. There's a 2016 still happening right now.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that makes me really, that makes me feel like I'm tripping as we speak.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
But, and a lot of it is just stemming from, I think, just the idea of death is what happens after it. You're just like, we don't talk about it enough. And so we're closed off to the possibilities. The more we talk about things, the more we're liberal about like sex, the more you become aware of things you didn't know existed. The more you realize things are on a spectrum. There's no black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Things are very like fluid, and very similar to fluid is, gaseous, as we imagine ghosts.
Yes.
And I think the more we talk about afterlife, dying, maybe have more candid, like, recordings of people experiencing death or something, like, and it becomes part of the conversation, we'll all be tuned into different parts of those spectrums that maybe we didn't know before.
Yeah, totally. And like you guys were saying, it's one of those things that we're used to the world we live in now, and it's very there's nothing like weird about it to us, even though this is weird. And the other thing is just we're calling it weird because
Yeah, dude, we're speaking right now into a collection of like magnets and coils and like a filament that's like moving back and forth, like according to how I vibrate the air. It creates an electrical pulse, travels through a wire into a computer, which, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It encodes it, re-encodes it back out into whatever speaker or whatever you're listening to this to. That's bouncing back and forth exactly how I made this microphone bounce back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're hearing exactly how I sound, the way I sounded when I recorded this in the past. And we're able to do that, and we don't know how that works, and you think you know how ghosts work, bro?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
This shit is weird as hell.
You're about to feed this out to thousands of people, and they're gonna be able to listen to it and hear it as it is today. That's fucking crazy, dude.
Science isn't science until it is. It was all weird at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when we all experience like a collective ego death, and all this divisiveness and closed offness becomes a ghost of the past, then we'll all sort of be able to talk to the ghosts and have them work with us, and and that's the kind of future, and and we'll have love for people on that spectrum, and that is Love on the Spectrum right there, which is a fantastic show.
Amazing show.
Shout out Michael. This is what an A+ husband looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Made us cry.
Yeah.
But that being said, another great pod is in the fucking books, y'all.
That's it.
Check us out on Spotify.
I think you mean another great pod is in the books.
Another great pod is in the books. Yeah, I've had a devilishly good, ghoulishly good time. I'm your ghost, Nilo G. Oh, I'm your host. I said ghost.
I'm your ghost. And I'm your co-ghost.
Yeah, you're my
Blake
co-ghost. Boots. Nilo G. The G stands for ghastly. Check us out on Spotify. Subscribe so you don't miss an ep. You really want to catch them right when they're out, because it's cool. Apple, you can get on us there. Spotify has video now. We're going to figure out how to be first on that wave.
Mm-hmm.
But subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Become a member on Patreon. Go to honestlynotevenworried.com. Check all that stuff out. I have so many things to talk about this month that are spooky, and it's going to be a lot of true crime mixed with a lot of this heady shit that we like.
Mm-hmm.
Cults and aliens and sleep and all that good stuff intermingled with, all that. And I'm just trying to, we're going to be honest, we're going to be real, and we're going to be transparent. Just like these ghosts that we're,
100%, dude.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I got nothing to say, yeah, I'm just loving the way you're looking over here. Come over here and tell me your name. I could tell by the sound, yeah, when you open your mouth. I hear my new favorite melody, hey. We should both run away. Why do we ever stay?